Hello everyone, and welcome back to our Let's Play of Exmortis.
Reading Rainbow.
Yes, the Reading Rainbow of
Two.
Destruction! I don't know. Vatican City devastation. 11 p.m. Sunday, the words of Catholic and Christian communities of the world had never dreamed possible were echoed over the airwaves of every remaining radio station. Vatican City was in ruins. The Pope and his clergy were all dead. The last bastion of hope and religious faith that mankind held up until that point drifted away with the clouds of the storm the Exmortis rode in on. In the days leading up to the devastation, the familiar images of the sky turning red as a precursor to the scourge arrival became obvious. Rome and the Vatican prepared themselves as best they could. Millions of Rome's locals flocked to the Vatican gates in hope that the holiest landmark on earth would be the safest place that they were what they believed were the minions of Satan. But they were sadly mistaken and big dumb idiots. At about 9 p.m. on Sunday, the clouds fell upon Rome, and it only took an hour before many millions of people were left slaughtered or trampled in the ensuing chaos. Even so soon after the news of the Vatican falling, reports worldwide of mass suicides in the remaining untouched areas of Europe, Australia, and Africa began flooding in. Mass demunication of religions has begun. A world once so dominated by people of unwavering faith in their deities is now virtually stripped of any religion. Churches and other places of worship have been attacked and burned to the ground in London, Paris, Sydney, and Hong Kong. People caught praying or set upon by angry mods intent on displaying their anger at being cheated on for so long. The world has surely become a darker place as horrible, relevant that we are.
Revelation.
Reveling.
Okay.
Horrible relevant. Damn it. It's horrible relevancy.
Exmortis Inhuman. Exmortis Inhuman. Government spokesman Michael Geddes has confirmed the rumor and speculation over the nature of Exmortis. We have evidence to support the recent notions that the horde we refer in to. Oh, that's okay. Two. I'm like, it doesn't make as much sense. Two, as the Exmortis are indeed not of human origin. With the limited scientific analysis we were able to perform on a captured sentient, we have determined that the creature is, in fact, not of any species that we are at all familiar with. Further analysis is currently being undertaken. However, thus far, we have made some startling observations of their behavior patterns and capabilities. The creatures tend to work together almost as if they are of one mind, so perfectly programmed to know the movements and intentions of each other that is quite unnerving. We have also observed the remarkable strength, agility, and speed of these creatures. Nothing comes even close to possessing these attributes to the degree that these creatures exhibit. Further to their physical abilities, we have also noted numerous supernatural aspects, including telekinesis and mental projection.
And apparently the ability to survive nukes. I know it's supernatural
They're like
shit.
cockroaches,
But still,
Mike.
I guess. They're like cockroaches, little bastards. It's another reason why I hate cockroaches. Actually, that's not a reason I hate cockroaches. But maybe that is the reason I should hate cockroaches. They can survive.
I read that as the boob bat, and I don't really know how, but that happened.
The boob bath. You went more offensive backfires.
Oh God, not the boob bath.
What kind of porn? What kind of porn have you been watching?
You don't want to know, Mike. You don't want to know.
All right. Apparently, it involves boob baths, though.
Whatever that is. I guess it's like a sponge bath, but with breasts, yes.
Oh, that's not too bad. Okay. There we go. Fun times. Hmm. Let's see, what good voice can I give this guy? I don't know. Let's just read him. Or maybe, maybe I could give him, like, the United Nations Consolidated World Army Offensive against the main front of the Exmortis was declared a failure in the early hours of this morning. The Exmortis push to Western Europe was halted for all
I didn't read 6.
for all 6 hours. Uh, oh, you.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're missing. You missing your boyfriend today?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
So, I think I'm making the story more interesting. There you go.
you
For all
are.
of 6 hours as UN forces.
For all 6 hours, as UN forces launched the first of their plan to take the battle to them assault in an attempt to push the marauding demons back to Asia. It is
Oh, yeah.
estimated.
Take it back, Asia. We don't want it.
Yeah.
Eat them.
Take it back, Asia. Take it back. It is estimated that a staggering 40% of the world army. Yeah. It is estimated that a staggering 40% of the world army was lost in the initial hours of the attack. However, some advances were made in pushing the front back over the Italian border. The UN's controversial decision to use their armament of nuclear-tipped ICBMs appeared to pay off at 3:03 a.m. when numerous mushroom clouds were spotted on the horizon over the Swiss Alps. French and Russian bio division.
That's a weird way to type 3:30 a.m., by the way. Why is it just a period rather than a colon?
I don't know. Because colons are for wimps! Oh. Oh. The horizon over the Swiss Alps, French and Russian bioweapons were immediately deployed to continue the pushback.
I like how divisions became weapons.
Yes. The first sign of failure came at 5:45 a.m. when contact with ARD Advanced Recon Divisions indicated 100% casualties of the bio divisions. It took an hour before the front returned to the earlier western French line. Eastern, what I say.
Western.
Whatever, it's a line. It's just the opposite direction, it's a deal. French line. And the final order for retrieval was given. Retreat. A staggering overall loss of an estimated 89% of world army forces is expected to be announced to the media once the United Nations Council assembles for an emergency debriefing later today. I'll debrief you!
No, I'd like to keep my man briefs on for some reason.
Yeah, okay, fine. I'll just stick to debriefing Indigo later. Aw. You hear that, Indigo? If you're watching this, I'm coming.
He's gonna make you go commando.
Yes, I am. It was the bloodiest battle in the history of mankind. It can also be considered to be the fastest and the worst loss ever endured.
It's assailants named. Police sources overnight. What? Police sources overnight have revealed that have revealed the identity of the group responsible for the mass murders across the central, western, and west coast states. Over the past month, the group identified as Exmortis has been laying waste to every settlement, town, and city in its path. Scenes of unimaginable violence and carnage have dominated television sets across the world. Early reports of this threat as being a satanic cult have since been diminished after the more recent graphic images were leaked from the information-controlled archives within the federal government. The many thousands of assailants depicted in the new footage has led analysis whatever to believe that the Exmortis is not of human origin. Inhuman speed, strength, and ferocity have led us to believe that these are creatures of unknown species and origin, not human or any animal that we know of.
You know what you know what these guys need? They need the Earth Defense Force. Yeah.
Japan and China demolished, millions more dead.
I don't know. I'm hyped about the Earth Defense Force, but clearly they aren't here.
Michael.
No.
No, I hate that game. Well, it was kind of funny watching the buildings fall over like cardboard or paper or whatever, and the stupid cheesy giant ants, but it was boring.
Oh, I enjoyed blowing up all the giant bugs with guns, though, and then all the giant robots, and then all the giant spiders.
But the game was long for what it was, and it kept everything was the same. Pretty. I don't know.
I don't know. I see what you're saying. It's kind of true, but I enjoyed it just for the being really silly. It was fun for what it was.
It was fun for like 5 to 10 minutes when you showed it to me, and then after that I was like, no more, Michael. Your sister has the attention span and mentality of a child. She needs more entertainment.
If you know what I mean. What? Okay, let's do this. United Nations. Let's see. United Nations supports consolidated force. Today, new head of the United States, Kara. What?
United Nations. This is the UN, not the USA.
Oh. Fuck the U. No. United Nations, Kara
Ranga? I don't even know if that's an A or an O. It's hard to tell them apart. I don't know.
Yeah, this font, it's not the best because it gets kind of blurry. Oh well. The consolidation announced the consolidation at the remaining arrives of the world of the last
of the remaining armies.
Armies of the world in a last-ditch attempt to halt the advancing Exmortis scourge. We believe the last chance of survival humanity has to put aside our petty differences and work together to combat the greatest threat we as a race were ever faced.
That is actually what it said. There was no mistake on your part, but will ever faced. Alright.
This is some good journalism right here. This is the toughest challenge we will ever faced. Yes. Evidence communicated to us from the remaining splinters of the scientific community in the U.S. indicates to us that the creatures of the Exmortis are not indestructible. Physical harm can be brought upon these creatures to incapacitate them. The strength of the Exmortis comes from their insurmountable and seemingly endless numbers. We remain confident that a concise, concentrated strike against the main front of the Exmortis assault will halt the advance and allow us to push back to the Asian nations.
Good job reading that blurry stuff. Alright.
Thanks.
One more. A newspaper clip titled Red Sky Approaching Storm. Red Sky Approaching Storm. Scientists claim that they are unsure as to why our sky has started turning red. It is no coincidence that the staining of the sky commenced with the emergence of the Exmortis threat, but the scientific community can find no explanation for this strange phenomenon. We are currently working on the theory that the strange cloud formations which follow the main front of the Exmortis assault is somehow linked to the reddening of our skies. The evidence that supports this theory is that the red sky phenomenon seems more concentrated around the Exmortis front and its wake. Yeah, that looks like all of it. America at war. Oh, that happens when I hover the key. That's kind of startling. The apparition I just saw was looking out this window. What could she have been looking at? All I can see is scorched earth in the distant horizon. Most of the roofing here seems rather water damaged. However, there's a section which appears to have been ripped at rather violently. Clearly, there's some kind of entity in this house that doesn't agree with my presence here. Nevertheless, the door just doesn't want to budge open. I think that's everything in here. Looks like we're gonna have to do that Sudoku puzzle.
Yep. Sudoku! Oh, hey, dead guy. Let's... well, while you're being dead, we're just gonna go finish your Sudoku puzzle over here.
Alright, one sec.
Okay. Yes.
Put it in just to humor it, I guess. Look. Look. It is done.
We're
Yay.
so amazing. Yay, we beat Sudoku. I hate Sudoku.
Yeah, it's not my idea of a fun time.
No.
Oops. So although it is possible, I get lazy when presented with things like that I just don't want to do. There's a toolbox on the floor here. It is currently closed. There's an assortment of tools in this case. I see nothing of immediate use in here. Ah, really? I have to go look at the vent first? Okay, fine. This is great. Look at it. The panel for the crawl space has been pulled off and propped up against the corridor wall. Strange.
Huh. He has to know what he wants to... oh. What?
Sorry, I just made you deaf. Oh my god. I've tasted... Oh, he's reading to us.
It is a beacon of life in a time of such darkness. Your presence suggests that I spent eternity in here. My name is Savior, in reference to my word.
It's tight and extremely claustrophobic in the shaft. It appears to be some kind of air conditioner. Why are you being so calm looking at it? After that ghost just flew in our face and screamed. I died in the vent. It's tight and extremely claustrophobic in the shaft. That's what gets your attention, not, hey, there was just a ghost in here. It appears to be some kind of air conditioning or airflow duct. Thankfully, it's large enough for me to move through. Light streams in through the claustrophobic through the vent. Beyond its haze lies another room, but I can't make... Hold on. Whew. I can't seem to make anything out from here.
Yeah, sorry.
I can't really with my fingers. I didn't hit or scream at the microphone too loudly, did I?
I don't think you did.
Okay. Like, I didn't hurt your ears?
No.
Alright.
I have to admit... I have to admit, you usually startle me more than the game does.
Yeah. There's a screwdriver in here. Might be of use in opening the vent in that crawl space. Alright, got a screwdriver.
Okay, let's go rape the witch with it. I mean, not the, you know, the ghosts.
Why does the screw always look like it's turning when I get here? See, watch this bottom screw right here, Mike.
Okay.
Watch when I come in.
It does! Magical hacks.
I said, oh, I guess I'm using the screwdriver. I'm like, I didn't click on it. Okay, the vent is, yeah, okay. Wow, I can use a screwdriver in more locations than once.
Yeah, or magic. Need to be skilled to fight the Exmortis. Wow.
The body of a man is slumped over the table. From here, it looks like a self-inflicted gun wound did the damage. A bloody gun lays on the table next to the corpse. It appears the weapon he used to take his own life. The gun is loaded with 5 bullets. I hope I don't need that. There appears to be a handwritten note on some old bloodied up paper. It's probably the obligatory... I don't know. Personally, if I were going to do that, I wouldn't have left a note. It's probably the suicide note left by the man before he took his own life. 14. Wait. Alright, you want... Yeah, you can have this one.
Yeah, I can read this. But I was going to mention... I'd find the sight of him being dead more horrifying if he was, like, positioned to... I don't know why, just kind of weird and almost amusing where he's just slumped over forward. Like, he has his face in... Like, he has his face in, I don't know, raspberry cake or something. It is done. God may not exist, and if he does, he's turned his back on my Emily. Oh.
Emily. Like, who's Emily?
I don't know. left to an unimaginable fate, but I have cheated him. I did what I had to do to save my family, and I slept with the Exmort now. With the same fate as the Colbys and no doubt the Jacksons. The Exmortis may have claimed everyone around us, but I have spared my family the terror and pain. I had been up for most of the night after making love to Anna for the last time.
I actually read for the first time while you were reading that to me, and I'm like, well, how'd you have children? Wow.
Sleeping after making love to Anna for the first time. I then had to realize that I needed to time travel backwards to make some children. We're sleeping in bed so I could stand watch at the window eyeing the approaching clouds. I knew they were coming from us. The distant sound of panicked air horns filled the night sky. It wasn't going to be long before they would be on our front doorstep. I decided then they're the first sign of...
Light, I would take my beautiful wife and our 3 children's life before they could. At 5, I would have rather just hidden in the cellar together and hoped they didn't notice you if you're really quiet. No. At 5:30 a.m., I kissed Anna for the final time. She awoke with a smile, but when she spied the gun in my hand, she stood bolt upright, but she was too late. I moved to the kids' bedroom. Don't you think they should get to decide if they want that or not? And clearly she didn't want to be shot, so she was like, all right, do what you have to do. I moved to the kids' bedroom to only find Daniel still asleep. I ran his fingers through his soft brown hair before shooting him once in the head. I moved towards the end room before I spotted Claire standing at the window, in some kind of trance watching the clouds. I took aim, and before she could even react, I sprayed her blood on the old bedroom wall. Zoe, my little Zoe. It pained me the most to do this to her. I found her cowered in a corner of the bathroom, crying her little blue eyes out. I swung open the door, and when she saw it was me, she lit up like a Christmas
tree. She cried and flung her arms around my legs, asking what was happening. She had thought that the Exmortis had finally come for her. I told her not to worry, that she should wash her hands. When she turned back for the sink, that is when I shot her. She slumped to the ground, but she was still breathing. No, I couldn't let her suffer. I dragged her to the bathtub and shot her again.
Why'd you drag her to do it again?
Yeah, that's a good question.
He should have just put it in her head quickly. I mean, she'd have to suffer while being dragged and be scared.
And man, this guy's a bad shot. You were point blank range. How did you miss the first time? I don't even. You're a bad shot and you should feel bad. Yeah, anyways. So I dragged her to the bathtub and shot her so many times. My poor little Zoe let out her last breath and her last tear. I slumped to the corner and wept. I have lost everything, and though I did what was necessary, I am surely damned for eternity. 4 innocents dead by my gun. I moved Zoe and Claire in with their brother and covered them with a sheet. I couldn't bear to see them like that anymore. But you could bear to leave your wife naked, just butt up.
Yeah. I wouldn't have, as a child, for instance, I wouldn't have wanted to die in the bathroom scared with my father shooting me repeatedly. I would have rather done so in, like, my parents' arms, us all hugging each other huddled in the basement.
I have to agree. Clearly he was losing his mind, but that's pretty crappy. I don't know. I don't know why I'm sitting here finding this amusing. I'm like, so you felt the need to cover up your kids, but your wife could just stay there, just showing all the ghosts.
And he showed favoritism too. He felt the worst about killing this one. Honestly, I think you should feel equally bad about murdering your wife. Clearly, she looked like she didn't want it, and all your children.
Her lips said no, but her eyes screamed yes. Unfortunately, I don't think that's the case here. I moved and covered. I couldn't bear to see them like that anymore. I sit here now in the kitchen, writing my last entry. This is it. I hear air horns blazing all
around me now. The clouds are right on top of my house. I can hear screams echoing across the land. Not all of them are human. I never dreamed the end would come like this. I can see a car coming over the hill in the distance. My God, it's Joe. He's still alive, but it makes no difference. Something has just battered open my front door. It makes a difference because you guys could have already been downstairs by now, and all the time you've been sitting here weeping and writing letters. I can hear them coming for me. I have no time left. I've just barricaded the kitchen door. It should buy me enough time to take the final step. I'm sorry, Joe. If you read this and you happen to survive the stay, please understand what I have done. The rest of this diary sits in a cupboard next to my bed. I hope you can forgive me, for it is now my time to embrace oblivion. I love you, Anna, Zoe, Daniel, and Claire. You think if he heard that guy instead of sitting there doing this, if he really felt that was the kind thing to do, he would have shot him?
Yeah.
And then himself, like hurt him on the lawn, shot himself.
I think so.
Instead of like, hey, screw you, dude, you're gonna get torn apart, and I'm gonna just sit here and shoot myself and be all depressive, like.
That's all. Clearly, though, this guy.
It's just the kitchen sink. Oh, okay. There's nothing special in it from the looks of it.
So I imagine you heard like that hammering outside.
Yeah.
Okay.
'Cause this urn is filled with what I assume to be the ashes of a former resident here. Charles is engraved on the exterior. Door leads outside and back out of this place. Things probably won't be any safer outside than it is in here. This plank propped up against the door would explain why I couldn't get to the room from the hallway.
Hopefully that hammering isn't too bothersome. I can't really do anything about it.
Oh, it sure creeps me out, though.
Oh.
Keep thinking it's like from the game. I'm like, oh, goodness.
Sorry. Yay, so we can go in here easier.
Oh, okay. I'm getting nervous because I think something's going to kill us. Vetus Hostilis Exmortis. Savior Raham. 1902.
Yeah, I know. This is the point where I'd be like, save your game, sister. Sister of mine. So this is mine, yeah?
Yeah.
My dear reader, many years have passed since I cast my thoughts to the memories of my demons. For my story is one of captive torment. Years of tortured labor to stay one step ahead of the constant threat of lunacy. Indeed, I pain to recall the torment endured for those years. Around the end of my young daughter Gwen's life, she was lost to my blade, and it pains me deeply, however, as much as my hand was forced by them, my captors. Yes, the demons that haunted my house, the possession of my poor daughter. They turned her into a puppet, held her soul for ransom in return for translation of the text titled The Book of Exmortis. Of course, I did as they wanted. However, I fear that such work will come with dire consequences. If not for I, then certainly for mankind. When they returned her to me for a mere minute only to take her away from me again, I realized that Gwen was gone and never... Gwen was gone. And never turned her.
It actually is funny because instead of saying Gwen, you said Gen. So you took the W from that word completely and put it in that one. Gen was Guan.
And never to return. I suppose in a way, I wasn't killing my daughter. I was killing the demons that took hold of her. I digress. My purpose for penning this text is to not alleviate the pain memories I carry with me, nor is to gain unwarranted sympathy for my eternal plight. I ultimately utilize this medium to serve a dire warning to other years of humanity as we as a species have left on this earth, An unspeakable evil resides in the hills, not half a day's trek from my current
Hills
abode
have
here.
eyes.
In Loker Fields, I have witnessed first Dick.
And the and the cruelty of the entities I have come to know as the Exmortis. I can only further elaborate on the threat these beings pose upon humanity. Once I have surmised the nature of the beast, to understand the history of one's enemy is to be one step closer to salvation. The following is a summation of the Book of Exmortis, the ancient Dominion War. In a time before life and light, corporeal beings did roam our lands, ruling over those smaller and less powerful sentients. These fiends of great power and might were many in number, but their greed to exert their dominion over others saw these lands bathed in the permanent blood-stained hue of war. Many ancients and lesser sentients were slaughtered in the resulting conflicts. Eventually, only 3 ruling beings remained. The merciless Kafafta. Lord Kafafta held rule over a vast army of sentients, having single-handedly delivered the death blow to the majority of opposing ancients. His power was only exceeded by his hunger for total control and the effective purging of his enemies.
The Manipulator Blue.
Manipulator.
Isn't that what I said?
It sounded more like you said the manipulator. I don't know. You said it very oddly.
Your face said it. Your face is very oddly.
It was like
Huh?
manipulator. I'm like, what's a manipulator? Manipulator, blue.
Sister, get. Stop correcting me and get back in the kitchen!
You get in the kitchen, boy. Make me a sandwich.
I'll. Oh.
That's what younger siblings are for, boy.
Oh, I don't know. I'll make you a sandwich. A sandwich of doom!
And I'll make you eat it.
Anyways, actually, instead of finishing this page, I think this would be a fair spot to lead off, because I think this is going to be another possibly long book.
Yeah, it won't be as long as the other one, but yeah, they pretty much elaborate on what we read about the first time around, explaining more about these characters, but yeah.
So, thank you for watching, everyone, and we shall see you all next time.
See you next time.